Hi everyone. So this is Ashley with Marshflower Studio. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to start working rows as a beginner from your chain. Again, this is kind of a bungee yarn. It has a kind of knit cover over this kind of fiber-filled core, and it makes it so that it is easier to learn with because it's just one solid piece, whereas with a regular yarn like this one, you have all these different strands, and sometimes even those of us that have worked with this for a long time, you'll end up catching one of these strands and then you're kind of like, oh no, what did I do? Because things kind of start to go a little wonky. So if you're definitely just starting to learn, find something like this. The one that I am using for the video is this stuff. I'm not sure if you can still get this particular kind. I stocked up on it when I had the chance. But there are some other brands that make something very similar to that, and with lots of other different colors to choose from. So in the last video on learning how to crochet, I kind of talked about how to do a slip knot, and there are other ways that you can do those, whichever way you kind of prefer doing. I do a knife grip on my hook, but we want to make sure that we have this hook part facing our body as we're working. If you're more comfortable with the pencil grip, you can do that as well. I also will go under my yarn to grab, and a lot of times people will call that yarning over, and it's really the same principle no matter which way you go. So you can go under to grab your yarn, or you can go behind and down. Okay, I go from under and grab yarn just because it feels more natural to me. So I'm just going to grab yarn and pull it through that loop that's on the hook. So you're pulling loops inside of loops. Okay. And as you're kind of learning how to do this, you'll figure out how tight or loose you need to hold this so that it makes this nice, even kind of pattern. Let me zoom back in just a little bit here. So for this video, once you have mastered the chain, we're going to start doing single crochets. So with a single crochet, we're just going to, so we have our loop that just came off the hook, and then we have the one next to it. Okay, so we're going to stick our hook under that top loop. We're going to grab some yarn and pull it back through. So you should have 2 loops on your hook. Okay, we'll grab some more yarn and you're going to pull it through both of those loops, so you're back to 1. Then you'll go over to the next loop on your chain and do the same thing. That was 1 single crochet. So we'll go under just that top loop, we'll grab some yarn, we'll pull it back through. So I've got my 2 loops, I'll grab some yarn and pull it through both. And now I have 2 single crochets. Okay, so keep practicing that. Oop, I have a tiny tornado toddler waking up from a nap. So we'll go through the top loop, grab some yarn, pull it back up, grab some yarn and pull it through both. So that is your single crochet. I'm gonna go ahead and get to the end real quickly here. And it's okay if the yarn that you're working with starts to curl up a little bit. It's not going to hurt anything. It'll kind of smooth itself back down as you go. So once you get, oop, my yarn's getting tangled down here. So this is my second to last chain. And then I'm going to go in the last one, not your knot, but your last chain. Pull up a loop, grab some, pull it through both. And then to turn around, you're going to do one chain, and then you're going to turn your work over. Okay, so you can see there's a different texture to the back side. And you're going to do the same thing back across. But this time, because we're not working in the chain, we're working in the tops of the stitches. So your hook will go underneath both of those stitches up top, both of those loops. Okay? So you've kind of got these little holes in between each stitch. That's where you're going to put your next single crochet. Okay, so I'm going to go underneath both, grab some yarn, pull it back through. So I've got my two loops, grab some yarn and pull it through both. And then I'll go to the next hole here, the next two loops over, grab some yarn, pull it through, grab some yarn and pull it through both. Okay, so now I've got two single crochets for this row started. So to do this practice, you don't need a long chain. It's probably actually better if you do one that's a little shorter. Do, 15 or 20 in your chain, and then turn and start working your way back and forth. And this will be a really good practice to just get used to holding the yarn, holding your work, moving your hook, and kind of making your piece. So once you have this figured out, a lot of the rest of it is pretty easy. Okay, it just kind of builds a little here and there on top of this skill. But if you've got this covered, then you can do just about anything. All right? So give that some practice. In the next video that I do as far as learning to crochet, I'll show you guys how to do some of the other different kinds of stitches. And then I'll also do a video where I show you guys how to work kind of in a round, so that if you're creating something that's a circular shape, I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so hit the like button, hit subscribe so you can see other videos as they come out, and hopefully you will be making some of those other projects that I post very soon. But thanks for checking in and watching, and good luck on your journey learning to crochet. Also, you're now referred to as a hooker, just so you know, because we use crochet hooks. Bye.